Yes, guys, you know what time it is. It's your boy David at the Irish Hotspur, Ireland's #1 Spurs fan, bringing you the preview and everything else you need to know for Thursday night's Europa Conference League group stage game, Tottenham versus Rennes. And we are joined by Philip and Chris. Philip, how are you keeping, my man?
Yeah, good, David. Yeah, looking forward to Thursday night. A bit more so than, after last Sunday's debacle, Saturday's debacle, that we'll, pick things up a bit and get a win.
No, look, hopefully, I'm positive anyway. Look, as soon as Monday came around, I dusted myself down. I'm ready to move on. Chris, my man, how are things?
All good, man. Looking forward to Thursday. Looking forward to Rennes. Let's see. Let's get back to winning ways.
No, absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Big yourself up, Chris. Guys, look, make sure you give Philip and Chris plenty of love in the comments. Of course, everyone's sitting there going, "Where's Jack? Where's Jack?" Look, it's okay. He's only he's having a night out with his father. He's relaxing. He's chilling out, guys, and he'll be back here tomorrow for Kaniki Answer Me. So do not worry about that. Look, let's welcome in a couple of the Harris Army. We have Arms says everywhere we go. Big yourself up, Arms. Hope things are well with you. Mr. Edwardson says, "Hey David, hey Jack at the Irish Hotspur." Yeah, no Jackie here today. It's Philip and Chris, my man. Catman Jess is in the building. Mr. House is in the building. Hola, amigos. James Redmond says it took 72 days to appoint a new manager, and while Nuno was available for 5 weeks, fuzzy thinking of chaotic manager search ended with Nuno agreeing a 2-year deal. Jury is out at this stage. Yeah, the jury's definitely out anyway over social media from what I've seen. Look, bit too early in my opinion. But look, it is what it is. Dark Sun G21 says, "Come on, you Spurs. Use Kane and Scarlett as a 2 forward in a 4-4-2. Lloris, Taganga, Utes, Sessegnon, if ready. White, Devine, John Hill, Kane, Scarlett, 2 Utes, 4 centre-backs. For a centre-back and a Ute or Sessegnon for left-back. Please no catastrophe or easy pass." Well, look, we'll definitely get the boys' opinions on that anyway. But Dark Sun G, I think the inevitable is going to happen. I think we will see them, I'll be honest with you. Mr. K says, "Hi, guys. In Nuno we trust." Yeah, look, I'll be honest. I still trust them. So, Jerry says, "Come on, you Spurs." Mr. K, look, for me, he only won manager of the month a week before that. So, look, I get it. It's 1 defeat. We're all unhappy. There's a lot to talk about, lack of creativity and everything else. But we also have to take into account, we had up to 6 players out. So, look, that's where I stand on it. But I still trust them 100%, Mr. K. Jerry says, "Come on, you Spurs." Big up, Jerry. Dan Ends in the building says, "Need to go strong Thursday. Rennes away will be our toughest Conference League game until April. Come on, you Spurs." Yeah, 100%. It's our toughest one in the group. It definitely is. Tottenham Tantrum says, "Hey, guys, Kane will break Steve Perryman's record if he plays Thursday night." Dermot, you're after taking that away from me. I was going to say that he does. It's the European record. I'll get onto that in a minute. Catman Jess says, "Big up David, Philip and Chris." Big up Catman Jess. Mr. House says, "Coys." Mark Cousins says, "Evening, gents." Big up, Mark. I hope things are well. Dan N says he's loving the panel. Dave Tyson says, "Evening, lads." Big yourself up, Dave Tyson. Jerry says, "Another class stream." Big up, guys. Appreciate that, Jerry. D-Trex Kane says, "Love you, guys." Big up, D-Trex. Dark Sun G says, "Come on, you Spurs." David, Philip and Chris. Big up, Dark Sun G. David says, "Greatest name on planet Earth, name of kings, name of winners, name of champions, name of warriors." Says, "Jack looks older and much wiser today." Big up, Dave, Philip and Chris. Philip, he's saying you look like Jack.
Yeah, it's amazing what plastic surgery can do, isn't it?
Yeah. Chris Bowler says, #Harris Army. Mr. K says, 3 legends on screen at one time. Big up the Harris Army. Luke Shabby 14, "Evening to all you good people." Big up, Luke. Luca. Potomac says, "Your smile makes my day." Big up, boys. Big up, Potomac. I hope things are well. JC says, "Big up, lads." And Brian C says, "Big up, lads." Big up, Brian. I hope things are well. Everyone, make sure you do smash a like on the stream, guys, and subscribe on the channel if you're new. And look, if it's anything like last night, it was absolutely hopping. Guys, if you want to skip the queue, get your super chats in. It means we'll get straight to your comment. And sometimes, look, I get it. I get impatience waiting in queues and stuff like that. So the super chat option is there if you want to skip it. And plus, it is a great way to help support the channels, guys. It's a fantastic way to help support the channels. But look, let's get into it. Everything you guys need to know. So look, we are away. We are playing at Rojan Park in Brittany. It is a lovely part of France. I've been over there a lot when I was younger with my dad in the summer with the family. It's a lovely part of France. Kickoff is actually 5:45 p.m. on Thursday. So it is. And the referee in the middle is Halis Ozakya, and he is from Turkey. Look, you can watch the game on BT Sport 1 for anyone in England or Ireland or the UK. And for you Americans out there, don't worry, I got you covered too. It's on Paramount Plus for you guys over there in the USA. But you can also follow the game with me and Jack here on the Watch Along at 5:30 p.m. tomorrow, guys. So make sure you, or on Thursday, sorry. So make sure you do tune in for that, guys, and give us your support. It is the first meeting between the two sides. Tottenham, of course, beating Pacos de Ferreira 3-1 at aggregate to reach the group stages, with Rennes absolutely thrashing Rosenborg from Norway 5-1 in aggregate. And, of course, both teams looking to kick off the road to Tirana in Albania, where, of course, the final will be held. Tottenham have overtook Arsenal to 12th, Philip, in the UEFA coefficient for the second time since its introduction in 1979. Is this the start of the power shift in North London, do you think?
No, the power shift's been there for the last 5 years. So they haven't finished above us for 5 seasons. So the European is just another addition to our dominance over the red half of North London or South London or wherever they come from. No, it's good. It's good. I mean, it's ironic that we get the accolade of going ahead of them by qualifying for probably the most maligned European tournament there's been for a while, you know. So the Conference League, everybody's sort of laughing at. But no, Europe is Europe, and we have a good run in this, and we go even further ahead of them.
100%. I absolutely love that. And look, Chris, is it basically a reflection of what we've been trying to tell Arsenal fans for years, that the power has shifted in North London?
We've been trying to tell for the last 5 years that we're a bit better club than them now. We've got a better stadium. We've finished 5 years in a row. What more do they need to see? And now we've got the higher European standards as well.
Yeah,
I don't think we need to say much more.
No, look, I've been trying to warn them for years that it's coming. Look, it's already happened. But look, the UEFA coefficients just seals the deal for me and kind of rubs it in their face. But look, guys, team news: Rennes, Jeremy Doku and Jonas Martin do look doubtful. For Tottenham, look, Son, with his calf injury, look, I don't think he's going to be risked against Rennes at all. I think he'll be put away and wrapped up in cotton wool for the Chelsea game. Dyer, I think will be ruled out. He picked up a dead leg versus Crystal Palace, and again, I can't see him being risked with Chelsea coming on Sunday. Sanchez, Lo Celso, and Romero, of course, are still in quarantine over there in Croatia. Sessegnon will be ruled out, as far as I'm aware. Bergwijn, you might see a possible return, maybe on the bench, but again, I don't think he'll be risked. And of course, I know Tanganga got sent off against Palace, but he is available for tomorrow's game. Philip, look, with Dyer, being out, Sanchez and Romero in quarantine, Tanganga is a cert to start at centre-back, considering that he cannot play against Chelsea on Sunday, so I would expect him to play on Thursday. Would you protect Roden for Chelsea on Sunday and not start him and start Ben Davies at left-sided centre-back, or would you play Roden and, get some sharpness into his legs?
No, play Roden. It's not as if he's been overused for the last while. No, play him. I mean, I don't think any of us want to see Ben Davies anywhere near the centre-half position again after Sunday. Okay, he may have to play at left back, but I was going to use the word best. I was going to say that's his preferred position. So I can see a back four of Doherty will come in for Emerson.
Yeah,
Roden. What do you call him? Jeez, my head has gone cut here. David out on the right, and I've got a mind block here. Who's the other centre half?
So you have Tanganga and Roden.
Sorry. Jeez, I just couldn't think of a sec. Yeah, Tanganga and Roden in the middle, and Doherty and Davies on the fullbacks. I can't say any other permutation than that, unless he brings in that young lad that was on the bench on Saturday. But I mean, you can't throw him in a European game, especially a tough one away to a reasonably good team.
Yeah, I don't think it's the game to do it. 100%. I agree with you. Tottenham Tantrum with the super chat says, big up Philip and Chris. Nuno has to play Hill Thursday night with Scarlett too. We need more attacking. ideas. Hope Barry Winks is Harry Winks is given the night off. I wish we had the likes of Perryman and Hoddle now. Well, look, Philip, Perryman and Hoddle, Dermot mentions two great names there. What would you say to Dermot with the super chat here?
Oh, yeah, I mean, if only. I mean, two of the real legends of Spurs history. I mean, Steve Perryman at the back and Glenn Hoddle loading it in the midfield. I mean, still probably the best passer of the ball I've seen in a Spurs shirt. I mean, the guy had X-ray vision. He could just see a pass. He was brilliant. Yeah, it would be absolutely wonderful to have two players like that in the team today. Because put it like this, I can imagine Steve Perryman, if we'd have got beat like we did on Sunday, he'd tear the paint off the dressing room before letting that team out of it. It's just, he would not accept a performance like that.
I'd love to hear that.
And then Glenn Hoddle would probably start singing to them with Chris Waddle, but no, Perryman and Hoddle, legends. And you Tottenham Tantrum got it and won there. Absolutely superb. He picked out the two of the best players to play for Spurs in the 80s.
Nah, big up Tottenham Tantrum. Everybody get over and check out his page on Twitter, guys. Follow him. He absolutely loves having his page, guys. So give him a follow. And Chris, look, he says he doesn't want to see he wants Gil to play Thursday night, Scarlett as well, and he wants Harry Winks to have the night off. Would you like to see Harry Winks have the night off?
Preferably, I'd like to see him dropped off in a British channel somewhere. You know what I mean? But obviously that ain't gonna happen. So I'd rather see Gil, Scarlett, Tanguy, anybody but Winks.
No.
Even bring Niall John in. That'll do. Just not Winks.
No, 100% couldn't agree more. Look, I definitely don't want to see him. I want to see him given the night off. But look, big up Dermot. I did want to play. I'll be getting on to that. I have a question in there for that, my man. Scarlett as well. Look, I would like to see him get minutes as well. And we do need more attacking ideas. Harry Winks, I'd love to have the night off. And just like Philip says, no better two men to pick there than Perryman and Hoddle. Big yourself up, Dermot. I hope things are well, my man. But Chris, look, same to you. Look, with Dyer being out, Romero, Sanchez, all out as well. Tanganga probably will play because, like I said, he's suspended for Chelsea. Do you want to see Roden playing beside him, or do you think we might see something different and Roden might be protected for the Chelsea game?
Roden hasn't played that much, so I think he's capable of playing 2 games in a week. So I think we definitely need him. He hasn't played that much, so Tanganga, Roden. If we have to, Ben Davies on the left and Doherty on the right. That's the back four.
Yeah, speaking of Doherty on the right, look, he had a good international break for the Republic of Ireland, Philip. Do you think he'd be more than capable to step in against Rennes?
Oh yeah. I would. I was very. I won't say very. I was quite impressed with him over the international break. He played slightly more forward than we were probably used to seeing him. And he was actually one of the players at the end of every match that got a mention from the commentators as being having a really, really good game. So yeah, we get to see the best of Doherty. And this is a match that's coming up. We could have the renaissance of two much maligned players, Doherty and Ndombele. If they're gonna have to start doing playing up to their capabilities, and what better way to do it than Thursday night?
No, 100%. I couldn't agree more. Look, Chris, would you be interested with Doherty at right back, or would you prefer to see maybe Emerson, get more game time into his legs?
I would actually like to see Doherty actually, and leave Emerson for Sunday. I would leave Emerson for Sunday against Chelsea, to be honest with you, because I think Doherty does need the game playing time, so Doherty could be quite suitable for against a team like Rennes. Yeah,
no, 100%. Look, for me, I would like to see Doherty given the chance. Look, like the boys are saying, I'd rather rest Emerson for Sunday. I don't want to risk the injury there. And I agree with Philip. I think we are the best yet to see the best of Doherty. We definitely are. Look, hopefully he can kick off against Rennes. No better way to do it. That's for sure. Look, Chris, I'll go to you with this one. Ali Gold, he does think that Harry Winks will start versus Rennes. If Nuno does start him and we lose, especially off the back of the Palace defeat, and the Pacos defeat, or we struggle or don't play well, like usually happens when Winks plays, can you see Nuno giving him another chance after this?
I hope not. I really do. I really do hope not. But the difficulty is we're stuck with him because of Daniel Levy and his stupid pricing. That's the only issue. If Nuno's got no choice to play him, we have no choice but to watch him. But preferably, I'd rather not see him in the team. Put him in the under-23s out of the way. But do you know what I mean? But it ain't going to happen like that. So I think Nuno will probably give him this last chance. If he messes up this time, I don't think there's any way back for him. Because especially now you've got Tanguy willing to fight for his place as well. So I think it's going to be very difficult for him to keep his place down.
No, it definitely is 100%. It definitely is. I see a lot of people saying about Doku in the comments. Yeah, look, as far as I'm aware, he is very, very doubtful. I don't think he will be playing Thursday night. And he hasn't played for Rennes in the last couple of games. And he are 2 games on the bounce, losing as well. He's which to have lacked a bit of attacking threat. But Philip, would you look, Harry Winks, he seems to take a lot of slack every time he plays. First of all, do you think it's warranted? And second of all, would you be confident if he was to start against Rennes on Thursday night?
Yes and no. Yes, it is warranted, and no, I wouldn't be that confident. It's a confidence thing with Winks. I mean, if he's aware of the animosity from a lot of fans towards him, it does affect a player's performance. It's like everyone else. If someone's on your back, if you've got a crowd on your back, you react in one of 2 ways. One, you say, "Feck it, I'm gonna get at it," or you go into your shell. And I think he's the latter. He becomes defensive. He'll spray the ball 20 yards sideways rather than 5 yards forward. He doesn't know what a half turn is. He's always facing his own goal when he gets the ball.
Yeah.
So no, he's a squad player to come in whenever we have nothing else. When we're down to the bare bones, that's my opinion of Winks. But that being said, we'll start on Thursday because we're not down to the bare bones, but we're getting close in that position,
No, we definitely are. We definitely are. Look, I'm resigning myself to seeing him start Thursday night. Look, I just hope, that maybe the bodies we put in and around him might help make us a bit more creative with him in there. Look, I'll be honest with you. Everyone knows I don't feel confident every time he plays because if I was Rennes and I knew he was starting, as the player I'd be targeting, pressing, running at, everything else. But look, at the end of the day, if he does put on the Spurs jersey, I hope he plays well. I hope he gives it I think he always gives it his all. But look, hopefully he can play well. That's all I'm going to say. Let's take a few comments here. Dark Song G with the super chat says, please use youths instead of Easy Pass. He shows no fight. Philip, what youths would you put in if you weren't to play Winks?
Well, I mean, Niall John would probably be the one that springs to mind, who plays sort of centrally in midfield, And for a more attacking player, I would love to see Alfie Devine getting a bit of time. I mean, the talk is this guy is one for the future, And to me, the future starts now. So get him in for a game like this, but at least have him on the bench to come on as an impact sub, But I think Niall John has probably earned his place if Winks falls over his shoelaces on the way down out the tunnel or something, But the youth, there's got to be a careful balance of youth and experience for this match.
Yes.
Or else we're going to come a cropper. So he's going to have to be very careful. Have the youth there to come on if we're winning 3-0 with 10 minutes to go. But not if we're losing 2-1 with 10 minutes to go, So
yeah. No, that's a fair observation. Like Coach, you mentioned Devine there. He did score 2 against Liverpool. I think it was under 23s there at the weekend. Chris, would you be happy to give Alfie Devine a chance instead of Harry Winks?
Yeah, I would. But also you've got Harvey White there as well. So
yeah, he's another one. Yeah,
Harvey White maybe as well because he's I've seen him a little bit and he's another talent that we've got there waiting to come through the ranks. So if it's not Winks, Alfie Devine, Harvey White, Niall John, you've got 3 of them there who can easily fill that gap.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Look, me personally, I would prefer to see one of them 3, to be honest with you, given the chance. Because look, I think Ndombele, we'll get on to that next, but it is rumored Ndombele probably will be making the starting lineup for this game. It will be his return to the starting lineup. Look, I think you're going to have to play one of Højbjerg or Skip in there. So for me, look, I think you can afford to give Harvey White and Niall John or an Alfie Devine a chance instead of Harry Winks. But look, that's just my opinion. Everyone else, let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Dark Sun G with another super chat says, use John, Devine or White with Hill and Tanguy in midfield. Yeah, look, Hill. Philip, do you think he could be an option to use in midfield?
Well, Hill will be playing wide on the right or left. I'd use him more as an attacking winger rather than a holding midfield player. Hill has to start on Thursday. He's one of the absolute certainties he has to start. But I would leave him out where he does the most damage, out on the wings. Let Ndombele and whoever, maybe what do you call him? Pierre Højbjerg may play. Him or Skip, I think, will play. One of the two will play. But no, let Hill get out there, because we've seen what this guy can do on video. He had a short, snappy look at what he could do to the first leg against Paco Ferreira. So let him rip tomorrow night. I'd say he wants to prove himself, and what better opportunity to have a go,
Yeah, no, 100%. I couldn't agree more. Well, look, Philip, we'll get into this one next. It's the Tanguy and Ndombele. It seems to be a very topical topic of discussion lately. Look, all the speculation is that he is set to make his return to the starting lineup on Thursday night. Look, Philip, do you think that he will resolve, do you think that he can resolve Tottenham's creativity problem in the midfield? And who would you put in and around the midfield to help him allow him to be able to be at his creative best?
Look, we all know this guy has got more talent in his little finger than most players have.
Yeah,
he's a genius, but he's a genius with his head who's been in the wrong place for the last couple of months. He hasn't applied himself for whatever reason. Maybe he doesn't get on with Nuno. We don't know that. I hope they put their differences aside now and get him into that side, because we've seen what he can do. The goal against Sheffield United last season, I don't think there's a player in the Premiership could have tried that. It was just sublime. Who would have put in beside him? He needs a minder. He needs someone there to brush off the tackles. Now, I suppose Pierre Højbjerg would be the ideal one. Oliver Skip could do that job as well. I think you keep an eye on him, But again, whether that's going to happen tomorrow on Thursday night, who knows? Some of the young lads, I don't think any of the young lads will be experienced enough, or to put in that job. So I think it's going to be one of the more established players. It'll probably be Winks. That's the way I'm thinking, that Nuno still has time for him and will probably play him as if Ndombele plays, and I think Winks could be the boy, but I would put in Højbjerg or Skip.
And you definitely think Ndombele will be able to solve the creative crisis coming from
I think so. Let's face it, we don't have any creativity in midfield.
Yeah,
we don't have any. And he can pick a pass. He's got to be told. He's got to be sat down in the dressing room before the match by Nuno and say, "Listen, Tanguy, you are the man tonight. You are the man that's gonna. You're the conductor of the orchestra. You are going to make things happen. You're going to make the music for the likes of Kane or Scarlett or whoever else is up front to score." If you have to play to his ego, tell him how great he is, tell him he's the best thing since sliced bread, do that. All we want to see is get value for the money we paid for him, which we haven't seen up to now, except in rare flashes. And really not quarter enough of the talent have we seen.
I agree with that. And just quickly, do you think if he did play in that first leg against Paco Ferreira, that maybe Dane Scarlett might have been able to find the runs that Dane Scarlett were making rather than what we've seen?
It's very possible, because Dane Scarlett was making runs the whole night and nobody spotted him. Not once did he get a decent supply of ball to have a chance on goal. So Ndombele could do that, certainly could. And but again, he's got to be told to go out there with a plan, stick to the plan. Don't be going off at halftime for McDonald's. Just stick to it. And he can certainly create. He really can. Probably from a deep lying role. Not too far forward, but just sitting in there and spraying the ball around. I would love to see it, as we all would.
Yeah,
it would restore our faith in him if he could do something like that.
Well, look, Philip, there's no better game to do it than back in his own country, in France. No better game to get himself back into the Spurs team. Look, we're going to have a few coaches, you know, in the concourses, you know, making sure he's not queuing up for a hot dog or anything, and he is in the dressing room listening to the instructions at half time. But look, Chris, you know, you know, I have a lot to say on Tanguy and Ndombele, but look, I do want him back in the team now. I'd rather give him a chance than Harry Winks. Again, look, like I asked Philip, you know, what midfielders do you think we need to put in and around him to allow him to be at his creative best? And again, look, do you think he will take the chance, and can he solve our creative problems?
Yes, he can solve the creative problems, because he, as I said to you earlier, Dave, he's got more creativity in his left boot than Winks has in his whole body. That's just for a start of it, yeah? But seriously, now, he needs somebody like Skip or Højbjerg next to him so they can just block off the challenges. And we can see what he can do. He did it against Southampton last season, where he spun the man and put it into Kane for a goal. And then you've got, again, against Sheffield United, as Philip said. And who else can score a goal like that?
Yeah.
But Tanguy just needs to keep his head clear now and just play for the shirt and just keep playing every game. And I guarantee he'll be back into that first team before he knows it. Yeah. He has the creativity there. He has it.
And look, Chris, you like to think of yourself as the Tanguy whisperer at times. Do you think it's mental with this guy?
I think his mentality. I think his judgment was clouded when he had his La Mafia, whatever they were called, the Sissoko and Oiri in his ear. But now they've gone. I think now he's probably started to realise. Now he's on his own. He needs to concentrate and get on with what he's doing. And I think tomorrow night or Thursday night, I think he'll show it. I think he'll start showing the glimpses of what he can actually do. And that's what we all want him to do. We've had him for 2 years. Now he needs to start showing why we paid the 60 million euros for it.
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. First of all, I want to say a happy early birthday to Andrew. He's turning 60 tomorrow, so big up, Andrew. I hope you enjoy your day, my man. And then we have a couple of super chats to get to here. And we have one from Dark Sung G. Big up, Dark Sung G. Hope things are well with you, mate. He says youths need experience to play tough teams versus Rennes. Yeah, look, 100%. 100%. Look, we do need some experience mixed in with some youths to play Rennes. I agree. If that's the way we are going to go, Dark Sung G, big yourself up, my man. I really appreciate the support. Nick for Lazy 8 says, I'd rest Højbjerg. Like to see Skip with Dele and Tanguy. Dele can hold his hand through the match and they can exchange styling tips at half time. Skip with Dele and Tanguy. Look, that's a good option, Nick. Are you maybe saying that one of them that Skip sits and you allow Dele and Tanguy to get forward, which is what I'm thinking you're thinking there. What would you say to this, Philip?
Yeah. I mean, I think whatever combination we put in tomorrow night, you know, it's going to be experimental. It's not going to be the one that's going to play on the match on Sunday. So yeah, Dele. Now, Dele worried me a bit on Sunday. He looked like he was maybe falling back into his old ways again. Like he was doing plenty of running back, but there's very little end product. You know, so I have a feeling he will not feature tomorrow on Thursday night. He'll be left at home. You know, Skip and Tanguy, as I already said, Skip and Tanguy would be a nice little. Like what you need is, I don't know if anyone watches American football. You need to have a guy in protecting the quarterback. You know, keeping the on road the other team from knocking them over. So like Skip will do it. Højbjerg can do it. Niall John could probably do it. Probably, you know, if he's in the team. But no, I'd leave Dele at home for this one. Because I think he needs to get a haircut. I know it's getting a bit long, you know.
His hair's going in his eyes or something.
No, definitely, that's affecting his vision passing forward. That's for sure. But Chris, look, would you be happy to see a midfield three of Skip, Dele, and Tanguy tomorrow, with Dele and Tanguy the ones being allowed to get forward? Maybe Dele being the harder working one of the two, tracking back.
Yes and no, because with Dele, it depends. It depends what sort of game he's having. Because Saturday he started to slip back into, as Philip said, into his old ways. So yes and no, because I know Dele, if he puts his mind to it, he's going to be solid in that midfield, tracking back and making those runs and freeing up the space for Tanguy. So it could work, but I still think it should be somebody like Højbjerg and Tanguy in that middle of that part, because Højbjerg will be able to make sure that possession keeps ticking over and getting the ball to getting the ball to Tanguy to do it.
Yeah.
But if it skips the option, well, Skip can do the same. But still, as Doherty said, maybe a bit of youth, maybe Niall John, quite possibly, because I think he's got the capability of doing it as well.
Yeah, he does. He definitely showed that in pre-season, that's for sure. Look, Nick, I'll be honest with you. I would actually rather rest Skip, to be honest with you, if he still is maybe carrying a bit of that injury or feeling the effect, and actually play Højbjerg. I get why you want to rest Højbjerg with Chelsea right around the corner, my man. I wish we could too. Look, it all depends on how Skip is feeling. If Skip is feeling fresh and ready to go, I would love to play him and rest Højbjerg. I'm with you. And look, Dele and Tanguy in midfield, I'd actually like to see this. I really would. But you know what, Nick? I have a bit of a different interpretation on it. I want to see it in a 4-2-3-1. I want to see Skip and Dele being maybe the bit of the holders, with Tanguy playing allowed to play a lot further forward and just create problems with Bryan Gil, whoever's out on the right and whoever's up front. That's the way I would like to go with it. And look, I agree with you. Dele can hold Tanguy's hand the whole way through the game, that's for sure. And as far as styling tips at half-time, if I see Tanguy coming out with Dele Alli's haircut, I'm going to lose it. I will end up losing it, I'll be honest with you. That'll be the final straw for me. I really will, especially if he's still playing crap. But look, maybe that's all he needs. Dele Alli got to change, changing hair, new man. You know what I mean? And he seems to be working his nuts off at the minute. So maybe it might work with Tanguy, but big yourself up, Nick. I really appreciate the support, my man. Absolute top man. Tottenham Tantrum says, whoever plays Thursday night needs to show the fans that they are playing for Tottenham Hotspur, and that playing for Tottenham Hotspur means something. We had players over the years who would run through brick walls for this club. In Nuno, we trust. Look, Philip, I'll let you take this one first, my man. I couldn't agree more here with Dermot, but what do you think, Philip?
Listen, back in the 60s, even the 50s, when the 1961, I think when the maximum wage was abolished in football, you had guys like Jimmy Greaves, Mike and Dave Mackay, and later in the decade, Pat Jennings. They were playing for 100 quid a week, which was a lot of money in those days, but it was still nothing, absolutely a fraction of what these guys are playing today. Now, those guys went out every match and they played their heart out for Spurs. They were Spurs through and through. And I think there are too many players in not only Spurs, but in other teams in the Premiership. They're mercenaries. They go where their agent tells them to go. They go where the agent thinks it can get the best deal. And it's all driven by money. And it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I'll go back to Ndombele. He's supposed to be on 200 grand a week. Now, think about that for a minute. Has he ever earned that money? Maybe 1 or 2 weeks during his 2 years. The rest of the time, he's been stealing a living from Spurs. And unfortunately, he's not the only one. There are a lot of, especially last season, there was a lot of players going through the motions for us.
Yeah.
And if they applied themselves a bit more, we would not be in the Conference League. We'd be at least in the Europa League, if not further up. We lost 23 points from winning positions. Add half of those onto our total. We're in the Champions League. And that comes from players who did not. You can kiss the badge all you like, but if you have no heart behind it, it's only a flippant token. It just means nothing.
Philip, I could listen to you all night, my man. Absolutely perfectly said. I couldn't agree more. Absolutely brilliant said. Philip, absolutely dropping facts. He could have a mic drop moment right now, that's for sure. But look, same to you, Chris. Have you anything to add to what Philip maybe was saying there?
Not really. Philip gave all the answers that we needed. But if the player needs to show heart and play for the club, not just play for that paycheck at the end of every week. Simple as that, really, isn't it? Tanguy can earn his 200 grand a week, but that means nothing if he doesn't care about the club.
Exactly.
Yeah. But look, again, this is where, the club have to be doing a lot more research into these players before they bring them in. I'll be honest with you, because too many times at Tottenham over recent years have we seen too many players come in here earning money that they shouldn't be on in the first place, and then just absolutely rinsing the club for it as well for years upon years upon years. Then, I've seen players show up a couple of months before a contract, get a contract renewal, and then they're tied down again. It's absolutely ridiculous. Look, for me, I couldn't agree more with what Philip is saying. All I ask for, look, even if you come to the club and you don't love the club, Just go out and earn your living. Earn an honest living like any other ordinary man that goes, or a man and woman that goes to any other job around around the world, whether it works in a shop, a hospital, or whatever. Go and earn your money. That's all I want to see. And then the players that, do love this club. Look, I'm sick of seeing this, off days. I'm seeing more off days than I'm seeing more on days from a lot of these players. And it's absolutely heartbreaking to see, to be honest with you, because look, growing up watching Tottenham, at least if we were poor, we had a goal, we had a crack. You know what I mean? Players still ran their hearts out. They played for the jersey, they paid for the badge. Not getting a bit of stick at the end of a game meant something to the players, not getting stick from fans at the end of a game. Now they couldn't care less. They just go home, close the windows, sit inside their big £1 million mansion, sitting in their recovery pool, having a cigar and a glass of wine and not even caring about, what they've done on the pitch that day. And it's absolutely tragic to see. Look, I just want to see 11 committed men in a jersey, running around for the one cause, and that's the win and being the very best that they can be. That's all I want to see. I'm not asking for much. None of us are asking for much. At the end of the day, we pay for it. We pay through our TV subscriptions, through the merchandise you buy, through the season tickets. You pay for that. That's the least you should be getting. That's the least you should be getting. But big up Tottenham Tantrum. What a super chat, my man. I really appreciate that, man. Absolutely brilliant. And we have Dan N. He says, 4 best teams. Rennes played last year. PSG 1-1. Sevilla 1-0 loss. Chelsea 2-1 loss. And Lille a 1-1. If Deadwood play, it will be a very difficult game for us. I am aware that the Camavinga's not there anymore. He was a huge part in midfield for them. And Jeremy Doku is out injured. Of course, that flyer from Belgium. So it might be a slight bit of a different Rennes team than last season. But that's a great point there. Look, 1-1 with PSG is never, ever anything to be sniffed at. That's for sure. Look, losing 1-0 to Sevilla. Sevilla on their day, especially in Europe. They're a tough team to beat. 2-1 to Chelsea. Look, you can't really complain about that. And a 1-1 with Lille. Good result. Look, I agree with you. I think if the Deadwood do play, I do think it's going to be a very tough game. What would you say, Chris?
I said it yesterday to you, Dave. I don't think this is going to be a straight walk in the park like some people are thinking it's going to be. It's going to be a very, very difficult game. And if we underestimate them, we might get punished by them ourselves. So I just want to go out there and show a bit of fight and just play our socks off and make sure we get a result. Because I said yesterday, I don't want to underestimate them. We can't underestimate any of the teams, really.
Yep. No, we can't. We can't. Look, for me, this is the toughest game of the group. We have to go out. We have to put out, a mix of strong players and fringe players tomorrow. Get the job done, and then against the other two teams, FC Moura, I think it is, and whatever the Dutch team is, Vitesse Arnhem, is it? We should be beating them without any relative fuss. So, Dan, I agree with you. I do think we need to take this game seriously. This is the one we need to win to be able to top the group, because we should be winning the other two. And great research there, Dan. That is greatly appreciated, my man. Absolutely spitting facts there. Big yourself up, Dan. We have Zoe in the building. Big yourself up, Zoe. Andy McGill as well. Big yourself up. We have Dino Constantino in. Big yourself up. We have a super chat here from Dark Sun G21. Philip, what do you think of Lee Young-pyo? He is why I became a Spurs fan. He's still one of my favourite Korean footballers. I actually remember it. Look, all three of us will maybe comment on this, but look, we'll start with Philip. That's one blast from the past.
He was great. He was a what Wipey Lee they used to call him. He was a very good fullback. Fast. He was quick. I don't know where he came from. A German club again. I think a bit like Son. I think he came from Germany to us. And he was a very good player. I think he was he won an awful lot of caps for Korea, and he was the poster boy, I think, of Korean football for a while when he was playing in the Premiership, because there wasn't too many of the Korean players playing at that stage. And he's still a big Spurs fan. I read somewhere recently he still follows all the games. And oops, I'm on my own now, it looks like. And good guy, and I have a lot of time for any Korean footballers. Any country that can produce Wipey Lee and Heung-min Son is all right with me.
Yeah, look, one memory sticks out for me is the game against United. He was absolutely roasted, absolutely crucified. There was one game against United that stands out for me. Look, apart from that, he done all right at Tottenham, to be fair. And look, I'll be honest with you, it was a bit more maybe when I was a bit on the wee side, a bit younger. But look, that's the memory I have anyway. But Chris, what's your memories of YP Lee?
I think back in the day, he was one of my favourite players, actually. When I used to see him play, I was like, one of my favourite players. When we first signed him, I was like, who is he? Then I got one of my friends to show me who he was. I was like, and I watched some of his games. I think it was one of the games I went down to the lane and watched. And I watched him. He was absolutely roasting the left side. He was absolutely immense. One of my favourite players.
Oh, absolutely love it. Look, everybody else, get your memories in of this guy for Dark Sun G. Get them in. It doesn't even have to be a super chat. Just put them in the chat there either, and I'll get them up. Absolutely love it. That's one blast from the past. Big up Dark Sun G. And we have one more super chat to get to here. And it's Benedict Hampus. Shane Jackson out here really loves saying that name for some reason. But big up Benedict. He says, great insight, lads. At least you proved that some people care. If players had half of your passion towards the club, that would be a start. Thank you. No, look, everyone cares. Everybody absolutely cares. But look, I absolutely love that. A great compliment, and I appreciate it. Look, at the end of the day, I don't think you're ever going to see players have the same passion towards your club, maybe as the fans do. But look, you'll always get that one or two. I definitely think Tanganga and Skip will definitely have it. And look, this is why I'm so excited about some of the youngsters we have. If people think about this, right, we have Tanganga and Skip in there now. If we can get Harry Kane's head right, you have him up there to kind of lead that charge. You have Harvey White, Devine, Scarlett, Niall John, and there's a few others on the verge, all in and around that, maybe a couple of years on the verge of breaking it in. And who knows, maybe we could go down the route of a Manchester United, the class of 92 or whatever it's called. You know what I mean? Maybe we could go down that route and we could get something like that where we do have a group of players who genuinely care and love this club. Like, you see how all them United players still speak about United to this day and everything else and how much they really care. If we could get a core group of players like that, we could be on to something special. Philip, what would you say to that?
Yeah, it's although, there's an awful lot of players that were going to be the next big thing that slipped through the net with Spurs, like John Bostock, for one. And
do you know what? I was actually listening to a podcast for him the other day. That was interesting to hear his story.
Yeah, Marcus Edwards was another one. He was going to be the next Messi,
Yeah.
And what happened to him, And I just want to refer back to YP Lee there for a minute. I remember probably the craziest Spurs game I was ever at was the 6-4 against Reading in 2007. I just looked up there. YP Lee was left back. The defense that day was crap.
I was there.
As you can probably
I was there that day.
And still won the match, But anyway, no, we have some. The academy has got its act together. Like, for too long, there was players coming through at Spurs that were let go to non-league teams, and you never heard of them again. Like, even this week, a guy called Zeki Friars played for Spurs.
Yes,
he played against Benfica in the Europa League a few years ago. He's 29 now, and he signed for non-league Stockport County. I think Stockport. I think they're non-league anyway. So like that's one of the guys who went the other way, So they're not all going to be success stories, but I think at the moment we've got a good crop of young lads in there, and okay, they're not all going to make it. It's not physically possible for them to, but there are a few there that are coming through. And remember this: back in the 60s, Spurs virtually did not rear any homegrown players.
Yeah.
If you look at the Spurs team of the 60s, they were all bought in, pretty much so. Might be the odd one that came through, but I think that's where, like, with these crazy transfer fees that are going at the minute, it's the way forward, because there is going to come a day of reckoning soon where the football finances are going to hit the skids, and it's the team that has got the youth policy set up to bring players through are going to survive. The teams that lash out money like it's not no tomorrow are the ones who are going to be in trouble, as is happening now with Barcelona.
Yeah. Do you know what? That's a great observation, Philip. Absolutely perfect answer. And look, same to you, Chris. What would you say to Benedict here?
First of all, what a compliment he's given us there. That is just an honour for him to say that for us. First of all, so thank you very much, Benedict. That's a really appreciated. But with the youth, I think they're the ones who's going to show what they really mean to the club, because You got Markindale at the moment. He's absolutely brilliant. I watched him on the Youth Cup. Absolute great player we've got there. Alfie Devine, another one. Scarlett's come through the youth. We've got Niall John, Harvey White. All these players are coming through the youth system. And I think they're the ones who are actually going to show up a lot of these the first team players that we've got now. I think they're going to be the ones to say, see you later, like the Ben Davis. The likes of Winks could be going out the door to be replaced by these youngsters.
Yeah. No, great point, Chris. Big yourself up, my man. But Benedict Humpus, really appreciate the support, my man. Absolute top, man. Really appreciate it. Simon says, evening, Mr. Harris, and your great panel. I'm sorry I can't see us going to France and getting a result, guys. Nah, look, it's a tough ask of what we have at the minute, Simon. I fully get it. You're probably, living in the realist. You know me, I like to live in fantasy, delusional land, my man. So I'm always going to think we can. You know me, Simon, but definitely, look, you're probably being a bit more of a realist than I am. Paddy Harnett says, quick one. We did the draw today for the Spurs signed jersey. My own name came out, but I decided to put it back, and another person won it. In total, we raised €1,070 for Limerick Mental Health Association. Big up, Paddy. That's an absolute great cause.
Well done.
Round of applause. A lot of people.
Well done.
And to put the jersey back in for someone else to win it, Paddy. It's a very, very very, very nice thing to do, and you've made someone's day, along with a lot of people's day, where that money can go to good use, my man. So big yourself up, and keep the good work, your man. Big up, Paddy. I have to say, a top man he is. Nigel Gates says Gil, Kane, Lucas could be a good start, but we have to lead the Deadwood back at Hotspur away. We need to actually care about winning. Yeah, look, I agree with you, but I do think the inevitable is going to happen with Lo Celso not being able to play. Romero, Sanchez, Son, Bergwijn, probably Sessegnon, Dyer. We do have a lot of injuries, so I do think it's inevitable that these guys are either going to I probably 99% say start, but if not 100% be on the bench and come off it. And that's just the way I see it, Nigel. At this moment in time, I struggle to see them being left at home, to be honest with you. But I agree with you. Look, we do need to care about winning. I just hope Nuno does learn his lessons with Winks and Davies, because, look, I'll be honest with you, some of the results that start happening when managers have to rely on these guys, they ultimately end up costing the manager their job further down the line, because the losses and the poor performances bring problems, and then them problems just start multiplying, and then it's a manager gone rather than these players. So, look, I fully agree with you. What would you say to that, Philip?
Yeah, absolutely. We all have our favorite Deadwood or unfavorite Deadwood, but we have to suck it up. They're going to play. Some of them are going to play tomorrow night by necessity.
Yeah.
We're missing Sanchez. We're missing Lo Celso. We're missing Romero. We've got Dyer injured. We've got Tanganga's going to be out for a couple of games, one game anyway in the league. So no, they're going to have to knuckle down and do what I was saying earlier. That play for the badge, play for pride, play for their own professional pride. No one wants to be made a laughing stock of. They've got to look at their own performance and try and improve it. And while we mightn't like the team selection tomorrow, if they do the business, if they play in a professional way and do what they're getting paid for, stick to the plan, that's all we can ask for. And then when our proper players get back, they're there in the background should they ever be needed, but hopefully not.
I couldn't agree more. Chris, what would you say to Nigel?
Well, it shows two managers were sacked because we had their Poch and Jose, right? So that says a lot, and the Deadwood are still at the club. But they just need, if the Deadwood would really want to stay at the club, they just need to perform. Just do what they're paid to do. You know what I mean? They ain't going to get opportunities every week. So when they do get an opportunity, play your socks off.
Yeah.
That's it, really.
Look,
just keep playing your socks off.
Look, I agree with you, Chris. Look, for me, they can sit there and cry and say, about fans getting on their back and whatever else. But at the end of the day, fans aren't just going to, Maybe unless you're Alex, but you're not just going to, blindly give them your support and praise them for no reason. Let's be honest. You know what I mean? They have to earn your praise. They have to earn your support. And they do that by doing their job and doing what they're paid to do to the very best of their ability, not hiding and shying away. Anyone that tells me Winks is playing to the best of his ability,
they don't know what they're talking about.
I think is lying, to be honest with you, because for me, I just think the guy hides on a football pitch. I think he shies away. I don't think he likes the pressure. I don't think he likes the big occasion. I don't think he likes the spotlight either. And look, for me, I get it. People can say, we have to get behind them, this, that, and I agree. We do have to get behind them, but there's only so long you can keep doing it. And for me, where I'm at with some of this Deadwood now, at the end of the day, they're going to be given some opportunities in some of these cup games. It's up to them to prove they're not Deadwood. It's up to them to prove. They've had years and years here. It's not like all of a sudden overnight, or they've been here just 1 year and all of a sudden we're classing them as Deadwood. At the end of the day, they've had years upon years upon years.
Do you know what I would do with some of these players? Now, this is very radical. This is really going to sound off the wall.
No, I love it. Go ahead.
Now, if you've got a player like Winks, right? Now, he's on a 2-year contract and he's earning $2.5 million a year, right? Now, that should be tied into the number of games that he plays in the season, right? If he falls below a certain number, he should be put on a pay-per-play basis.
Yeah.
It'll give him the incentive to get into the team, and B, it'll save the club a lot of money. Because
Daniel Levy will love you.
They're in the comfort zone. They're earning $2 or $3 million a year. We don't have to worry about playing. But if their income is threatened by their lack of playing time, you can be damn sure they'll up their game.
100%. Do you know what? That's absolutely a way around. That's a brilliant idea, I have to say. Chris, would you agree with Philip on that? I would.
Philip, 100%. And do you know what, Philip? If Daniel Levy heard you say that, he would be like, you know what? I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, there'll be massive pushback about that from agents and whatever, But it's coming to the stage now. I mean, if I'm working in a job and I'm just sitting at my desk throwing paper airplanes out all day, I'm not going to last. They're going to. Someone's going to come along and say, "What are you doing here? We're paying you to do, and you're doing absolutely nothing." So it's the same thing. There is
same principle.
Football at the minute. There are too many millionaires who should be scratching for a living.
It's spot on, Philip.
You two are absolutely cracking me up. Philip, if you keep coming up with good ideas like that, we're going to see you on the bench with Paratici and Hitchin soon. Daniel Levy will be loving them ideas, that's for sure. But no, do you know what? I fully agree with you. As soon as you see their nuts about to touch the tarmac, you can guarantee they will start playing because, as soon as they don't know where their next paycheck is going to come from week to week, you can guarantee they'll be putting it in training that week. You can guarantee they'll fucking give it their all on a Sunday.
Right.
Whether or not, they'll definitely be giving it their all, and that's for sure. That's a great point. And big up Nigel Gates. Really appreciate the support, my man. Top man. Tottenham Tantrum, big up Dermot, says, I was very lucky to be here in the 80s cup wins. Seeing the likes of Perryman, Hogger, Roberts, it's like the spirit of Bill Nick missing. Big up Chris too. Look, Philip, I'll leave this one in your capable hands. About the 80s, I wasn't born, so.
Well, I mean, 1981. I mean, that replay against Manchester City is still one of the greatest nights ever in any Spurs fan's career, if you like. Seeing Ricky Villa score that goal, I mean, that was superb. Then to win it the following year as well, albeit slightly fortuitously against QPR, we'll take it. The spirit of Bill Nick. I mean, Bill Nick, I think he was still alive at that stage. I think he was back at the club as president or something at that stage, So I mean, if Bill Nick's influence was still at the club around that time, around the age, I know Keith Birkinshaw was the manager, but such a hard act to follow. And Bill Nick, I mean, he was Mr. Tottenham, and you couldn't speak highly enough about the guy, And the thing about this is something that would never happen in this present climate, right? Bill Nick lived, I think this was discussed before. Bill Nick lived in a terraced house or a semi-detached house about 5 minutes walk from the ground. He'd walk to work. Now, can you imagine who will I put? Harry Winks walking to work in the morning. He'd probably lose his way anyway, but it's a whole different ball game now. The players used to go drinking in the Bell and Hare and the corner pin in after the match. You can walk into a pub after a Spurs game and Jimmy Greaves could be there having a double vodka.
Yeah.
You won't see that anymore. Okay, there's certain things that got better about the game, but the players are so far removed from the fans now. They're like film stars with minders. They just do not get close.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Great.
There you are, Dermot. Great answer to your super chat, my man. Really appreciate the support. What a top man. Big up, Dermot. Hope you enjoyed Philip's expert answer there. Look, we'll give the next one to Chris. He says, easy pass and catastrophe are the two Deadwood left, in my opinion. Would you agree with him, or would you say there's any more he's missing?
No, they are the two. See, now we sold Sissoko, in the summer to Watford. Now, if I could turn back the time, I would actually take Sissoko back and ship Wings off instead. Because in a way, I still, even though Sissoko was actually slow as anything and couldn't run, he was still actually a better player than Wings. So we still got two Deadwood players, and the problem is Daniel Levy's put such disastrously high prices on their heads. 40 million for Wings, 25 million for Davis. No one's going to be in their right minds going to pay those fees.
Yeah.
Unless they cut the fees right down.
Yeah.
Then let Sissoko go for 3 million.
Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
No, that's true. That's true. But big up, Dark Sun G. Really appreciate the support, my man. Absolute top man. Just want to say, Brian C., if you're still watching, my man, please get in contact with me. I want to speak to you about something, by the way, my man. So, Brian C., if you are watching, please do get in contact. And a super chat from Joe says, big up all the Harris Army. No more chances for the deadweight. Also, Thursday, I need to see a team step up or set up to win. Otherwise, I will be concerned about Nuno. Philip, would you be concerned about Nuno if we're not set up to win? Or if we don't win?
Well, I mean, okay. On paper, we're a better team than Rennes. Okay, a match was never won on paper. But he's got to go out. He's got to go out there with a team. It's not acceptable to put out a team to play for a draw in the first game of a conference league. He has got to set it up to win. He's got to set it up with a mix of experience and youth. And let's put it this: we were all on a high after the first 3 games. We came back to earth without a parachute on Saturday. And okay, if things don't go right on Thursday, there are going to be the doubts. There is going to be that little niggling doubt about Nuno. Can he cut it at a top club? It's okay being at Wolves, who are a decent club, but they're nowhere near the stature of Tottenham. So, people begin to say, has he bitten off more than he can chew? Personally, I think he will get it right. But he might just take a little bit more time to iron out the little errors that he made on Saturday. I mean, if he picks a similar team to Saturday on Thursday, we won't get a result. I don't think that's going to happen, So that's why I'm hoping that he goes stronger, he goes more positive. And again, I mean, I know we've got Chelsea on Sunday, but I would actually play Harry Kane on Thursday night.
Well, I'll get into that. So that's we'll on to that next.
On there,
No, 100%. And look, Chris, what would you say to Joe? Would you be concerned about Nuno if we're not set up to win or we don't win against Rennes Thursday night? You see a lot of the reaction on social media. Some people calling for his head already.
It's 4 games. We're 4 games in. Look, yeah, it wasn't pretty on Saturday. I will be the first one to say that Nuno got it wrong, but he needs to now just to create an attacking team on Thursday. Make sure we do win. It's our first European Conference game, and we want to start as a mean to go on, win every game, and try to get as far as we can in the competition. So Nuno, he needs to put a proper team out there, not just one to scrape a draw. But it's only 4 games. We still have to give him more time to adjust the team to how he wants them to play. We can't just expect him to click his fingers and then it's all magical back to magic and roses, because it don't work like that.
Yeah.
So all these Nuno out just need to be a bit more patient, just give him a little bit more time.
Yeah, look, for me, where I'm at the situation, we had 6 players out. He did make the wrong calls of what was left available to him, in my opinion. But look, we have to give him more time than 4 games. At the end of the day, a week earlier, we were praising him for the manager of the month, popping off party poppers, letting off balloons, celebrating manager of the month. And then, look, I get it. We're all hurt. We're all cut deep. We're all pissed off. Nuno got a lot wrong. But look, it's just one of them things that tend to happen to Tottenham, in my opinion, where one thing goes wrong and it's snowball. Eventually, we will come out of it with a big game, with a big win against Chelsea or Arsenal, and then it will all be forgotten about. That's for sure. And then look, just quickly, we will take this question here from Simon, and then we'll move on. He says, "You guys, if Nuno loses the next 3 games, will Levy be thinking about Nuno as a manager?" So do you think he might get sacked if we don't win any of the next 3 games?
No chance. No.
Yeah, look, I don't think so either, Simon. I do think, Nuno is definitely here for at least 1 season anyway, and then take a look at it from there. That's for sure. I don't think he will get sacked if we don't win the next 3 games. That's for sure, Simon. A big up Joe for the support. But look, guys, everyone keep smashing that like button, guys. Keep smashing the subscribe button if you're new, and keep getting the super chats in, guys, if you want to help, if you want to skip the queue and you want to help support the channel. But look, we will move on to the next question. And this is one that I absolutely love, I have to say. But look, if Kane starts versus Rennes or comes off the bench, he will beat Steve Perryman's record of 64 UEFA Cup games for Tottenham, which means he will become the record holder of appearances in Europe for Tottenham. How good has he been for Spurs, Philip, in European club competitions for us? And what are your standout performances or goals or memories from Kane in Europe? Of course, he is also our top scorer in Europe with 40 goals, so you have plenty to pick from.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it. Funny, I know I think probably the Dortmund match, the two Dortmund games a couple of seasons ago when we destroyed them, home and away.
Yeah,
I think that was probably my best recollection from Harry Kane. Some of the, he had a few dodgy performances too, I have to say. Especially Zagreb comes to mind. Last season wasn't exactly one of his better games either. But no, I think the Dortmund game when he scored twice in one game, and then he scored the 1-0 in the away leg when he should have been. He beat the offside trap and ran through on his own.
Yeah,
he's gonna go on. Like, how many? 64. He's probably going to end up hopefully playing about 90 or 100 European games for Spurs. And I say hopefully. That hopefully. And he's going to get a lot more goals. Like, he's going to break Wayne Rooney's England goal scoring record. He could even do it before the end of the World Cup next year. So, like, the guy is just a record.
Do you think he'll break Alan Shearer's Premier League record and Jimmy Greaves' record at Tottenham as well?
Well, I hope he beats Alan Shearer's record. I even more hope so he beats Jimmy Greaves' Tottenham record, because to do that, he's got to be at Tottenham. So,
yeah, 100%. That's a great way of looking at it.
To see Jimmy Greaves' record go, because I honestly thought that was untouchable. I mean, that guy was the goal machine of all time. And Harry Kane is second to Jimmy Greaves. I don't think even if Harry Kane beats Jimmy Greaves' goal scoring record, he'll ever surpass Jimmy Greaves as a goal scorer, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Greaves could score a goal out of nothing, absolutely nothing. I mean, Jimmy Greaves could spend 89 minutes scratching his arse on the halfway line and score 2 goals in the other minute. That's the type of player he was.
Yeah.
Frustrating, infuriating, but brilliant.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Well, Chris, any standout memories from you, from Harry Kane over the years in European competitions, goals, performances, whatever it may be? Any standout memories?
I think it has to be the Borussia Dortmund when he was put through clean, and when Sissoko set him up and he was clean through and goal. But I think he will break that record for appearances and probably goals scored in Europe for Tottenham anyway. So Jimmy Greaves' record, I think, is going to be slightly more difficult, but I hope he does break Alan Shearer's record.
Yeah. And just I always remember Harry Kane's first ever goal again in Europe. It was
Shamrock Rovers.
Shamrock Rovers in Tala.
2011?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
When he was wearing the famous 37 shirt.
No, I was going to say that's my favourite goal from Harry Kane, against Shamrock Rovers, just because it's an Irish team. And, back then thinking, maybe can this guy go on and be the guy for Tottenham up front? And, he's flourished ever since then. And look, maybe that's an insight to people on why I love Harry Kane so much, I watched that game against Shamrock Rovers, and I was absolutely over the moon to see him get his goal, as I am for any youngster who comes into a Tottenham team, seeing them play well and get their goal. Look, Borussia Dortmund, stands out as well as a memory with Harry Kane. Absolutely brilliant, and he's been crucial for Tottenham in European competitions, along with Sonny, may I add. But Kane has been crucial for Tottenham. Of course, look, he's about to break the appearance record in Europe for Tottenham. He's the most goals in Europe for Tottenham. He's on the verge of the Jimmy Greaves record. He's on the verge of Alan Shearer's record, on the verge of Wayne Rooney's record for England. So, look, there's a lot of records that he could potentially break this season. A hell of a lot. He's close to every single one of them. And he has a chance of breaking them all. So, look, there's definitely incentive for him to get out there and get a few more goals, that's for sure, and get his head in the right mind frame, that's for sure. But look, Philip, would you start Harry Kane on Thursday? Would you start him, to get some more sharpness in his legs? Or would you maybe start Dane Scarlett and have Harry Kane on the bench?
Well, my initial reaction was I'd start him because I don't think he's showing the sharpness that he should be showing. Like, he had the 3 games away there for England. I thought that he was going to come back all guns blazing last Saturday. He didn't, and I think I would start him. I mean, I doubt he will start, but I would start him just to show him. Listen, Harry, we need you to contribute a little bit more for your club. I mean, he scored 3 goals in a row for England there, but he never even had a shot on Saturday, which is most unlike him. Really unlike him.
Yeah.
So I'd start him. I'm okay. Put him on, score a hat-trick, take him off. Get Scarlett on for the other 75 minutes,
Absolutely love it. No, that's for sure. Look, Philip, would you start Harry Kane or would you put him on the bench, with Chelsea coming up, and maybe trust in your midfield and your defence and the players you have around Dane Scarlett to getting the chances, or would you start Harry Kane?
Is that Chris or me, David?
Oh, Chris.
Yeah. It's a tricky one for me. I would start him. Give him the first. Let's see how we get on. Start in the first half. Let's see if we're about 3 or 3. If we're 2 or 3 up, then just take him off at half time. Give him a little bit of match fitness. If it's all going disastrously wrong, keep him on as much as we possibly can, because we do need to get his sharpness back up.
You guys are more positive than I am. I'm a bit nervous going into this game on Thursday night. You guys are way more positive, expecting to be 2-3-0 up, before half time. No,
it's wishful thinking, Dave.
Wishful thinking.
You're right. Positive mental attitude.
Do you know what? For me, I would actually start him. I want to get some minutes into his legs. I want him to build up a bit of match sharpness. I'd say to him, look, you've got to 60 minutes to go and put the game beyond doubt. After that, then we're bringing on Scarlett. And I really do want to see Kane put the game beyond doubt. Look, bag 2 or 3 goals, come off, get Dane Scarlett on and let him finish off the route with 1 or 2 as well. With Tanguy and Ndombele in the middle finding his runs. So, look, I would definitely start Harry Kane. Tottenham Tantrum says, could listen to Philip all night. Great show, man. Big up all the Harris Army. Nuno needs time. In Nuno we trust. We're in a rebuild. Get your super chats in. Come on, you Spurs. I love it when someone puts in a super chat to tell others to put in the super chats. Big up, Dermot, my man. Absolute legend. Really appreciate that. And look, of course, like Chris, like Philip, look, 2 great guests. I could listen to them all night. But look, that's why we have Philip on. A lot of people, really like listening to him. He's very popular along with Chris. So big yourself up, Dermot. Really appreciate it. And I agree with you. Look, we need to give Nuno time. And look, I'm still in Nuno we trust. I'm in every manager we trust. No matter who's in charge, I'm always going to say whoever it is I trust. So big yourself up, Dermot. Really appreciate it. Philip, do you want to say anything to Dermot there? Giving you a lot of praise.
Thanks, Dermot. I appreciate your comments there. And, I just say it as I find it. That's the way it is. And mightn't always like what I say, but it's like I love this club. And, when I see things going wrong, it hurts. It really does. When I see things going right, it's like brilliant. Anyway,
sure.
Nuno does need time, obviously. I mean, you don't come into a club like Spurs and hit the ground. Well, you can hit the ground running, but you're not going to win the 100-meter sprint. It's a marathon. You got to go take a little bit, pace yourself. And he will be okay. He will do okay. Like whether he's a long-term solution, it's hard to know. I still get the feeling in maybe a season or two's time, there's going to be a bigger name is going to come in. But a lot will depend on Levy, of course, And but no, that's really it. I mean, he's there. He's our manager. I'll support him for every minute that he's in the job, as we all should. And
No, 100%.
Really, and just one thing, last thing on the Harry Kane thing, playing against Rennes. If you're sitting in the Rennes dressing room an hour before kickoff, and the team sheet comes in and Harry Kane's name's on it, well, I know if I was a centre back, I'd be going, "Oh Jesus!" Psychologically, it could have a big effect. That they know what they're up against. Whereas if they see a young lad they've hardly heard of before, we have him for breakfast. So that's another reason to play Kane, is a psychological boost and a psychological downer for the opposition.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And look, guys, just a quick, maybe something quickly to note as well with Rennes is look, they're not going to have many players that are going to be able to take a rest. So for me, they are going to actually not be able to change as much of their starting 11, because believe it or not, when I was doing a bit of research into them, they have only 8 defenders on the book. They only have 8 defenders on the books. They're short in the midfield area. They have a hell of a lot of strikers and attacking players and goalkeepers for some reason. They're short everywhere else. So, look, maybe there could be a bit of tiredness in that Rennes game, maybe, in the second half. Maybe that's something we could exploit. Everyone else that's watching right now, make sure you are smashing that like button. Keep smashing it. Smash that subscribe button if you're new. Like Dermot and so many before him tonight, Joe, Dark Sun G, Benedict Humpus and the rest. Guys, get your super chats in. It is a great way to support the channel. It helps you skip the queue as well. And also, I want to hear everybody's favorite Harry Kane memories in Europe as well, guys. So please do get them into the comments. I want to enjoy reading them. Next question is, I'd say, look, for me, Rennes is definitely one of the toughest games in the group. So with that being said, would you go with a stronger than normal lineup or go with fringe players? And we'll start with Chris on this one.
I would go with a stronger lineup because we want to win that first match. We need to win it just to set the pace in our group. So I'd say for this game, especially against Rennes, just go with a strong lineup. Make sure we take the win. Against the other team, is it Vitesse, Arnhem, and the other team? We could put a slightly weaker team out against them. But for Rennes, I think we need a stronger team to go for it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, 100%. And Philip, same to you, my man. Would you? Yeah, you said this before. You would rather go with the more experienced players for this one, get this one in the bag, and then the next two you can maybe look at playing fringe players.
We can't do a Paco Ferreira, whatever they call him again. We go similar to that, and we're going to get tanked. It's just he has to go stronger, and a good bit stronger. Okay, put a few young lads on the bench if needs be, and if we are doing okay, bring them on to rest the players for Sunday. But the senior Spurs players that are picked in the squad tomorrow night are going to have to earn their money, and they're going to have to play 2 hard matches in 72 hours. But they should be well capable to do that.
No, definitely, I fully agree. And look, for me, I would agree with the boys. To be honest with you, I would go a bit more of an experienced lineup, get the job done here, and then the other 2 group games you can take them light enough and get yourself out top of the group, which will ensure you an easier qualifying route as well. But look, moving on, Bryan Gil is definitely going to start. Look, Philip, where would you play him? And is this his chance to show Nuno that he can be trusted to provide, that he can be trusted to provide creativity needed, and to make an impact in the Premier League?
Yeah, well, I mean, I would like I would play him on both. I would swap him around from left to right. I wouldn't leave him in the one position. I'd do 10 minutes on the left, then switch him over to the right. Give both fullbacks a taste of what he can do, and keep them guessing where he's going to be. Because I mean, some of the videos I've seen of him now, he's a really good dribbler of the ball, which is not an art you see very much these days. People dribbling. I mean, that dribble that Lucas Moura did in the first half against Palace, that was the first time I've seen something like that in a long, long time.
Yeah.
He slalomed his way through the Palace defense. Okay, he gave the ball away at the end, but that was, whatever. But no, I'd play Gil as a roving, not set on either side. Let him go over, play around as play dictates. And like I said, as I keep saying, he is going to give some fullback a nightmare one of these days. And hopefully Thursday. Or give 2 of them, and then it'll be even better.
that'd be absolutely awesome. But Chris, look, same question to you, my man.
Yeah, I would play him on the left and then start him on the left and just move him around, because I think he can play in the number 10 position as well. So he can play anywhere along the front line, to be fair. So have him moving across the pitch, because he's gonna create havoc in the midfield and he's gonna create havoc in the defence. Because with his passing and his dribbling abilities, I don't think he'll be able to handle him.
Yeah.
No, have him moving across the whole pitch.
Yeah, I agree with you. Look, a bit like Pacos, let him roam anywhere around that, final third area. Because for me, I think that's what he's best at. Look, I keep saying it, I think he's like Luka Modric, even to the way he receives the ball. All of a sudden, he drops the shoulder and he's gone away from you before you've even realised. I think he's very creative. Look, against Pacos, 9 times out of 10, he found his man with his pass, even when he was in a crowded area, in and around the box and all of that as well. So for me, look, I actually think this guy's the answer. And look, for me, I've stated this a lot of times before. I actually see him more as a cam than out on the wing. I do think he will have to earn his stripes playing out on the wing for Tottenham first. But look, that brings me on to my next question. And we'll go to you, Chris, with this one, and then back to Philip. Look, for me, I've said I do see him as a cam long term. Definitely, playing in that middle, being able to play players in behind out on the left, the right, or Kane over the top. Do you think this guy long-term can replace the void left by Christian Eriksen?
Given a hot chance, yeah. I think he can, because he's got that talent and he's got the skill. And he's able to provide balls as well as take the shots on himself. So I think he's going to be pivotal for our season. So I think he needs now to start being played more games, not just coming off the bench and just for the Europa Conference. I think he needs to start some league games as well as Europa Conference leagues games as well. So, because I think he's got the talent there. We could see it. We saw it against Pacos in the second league. He was awesome.
Yeah,
he was absolute. Set up the first goal. He caused mayhem in their defensive third, because they just didn't know how to handle him. So I think he's definitely one for our future. He's going to be absolutely brilliant for us.
Yeah, I think he will be 100%. And Chris Monteser Ali says the mighty Chris always talks sense.
Thank you very much, Montesa.
Big up. And look, Philip, same to you. Do you think that, because look, since Christian Eriksen is gone, there's clearly been that sort of lack of penetration in that final third, someone who's able to keep onto the ball in that final third and prod and probe. And in fairness, I think I've seen a stat today. Christian Eriksen, in his time at Tottenham, was involved in well over 100 odd goals for Tottenham, directly involved with passing or whatever it may be. Do you think that Bryan Gil maybe long-term can play that position, or do you think he will always be one of them players that either be played out on the left or the right?
I think long-term, possibly. I think short-term, this season, he won't play that position. They'll use him as a winger. I don't think that he may morph into a central midfield player, the number 10 role. Quite very possibly will do, but I see him initially anyway doing most damage out on the wings. And he will drift inside and may well, hit the killer pass. But I think at this stage of his career, it's a lot to ask for him to become the new Christian Eriksen. I think Eriksen was you would never have seen Eriksen out in the wing too much. He was more or less in the central all the time. And He'll probably has more to his game in so much that he can go the full width of the pitch. But I think for this season anyway, he'll do most of his damage on the wing. But in future years, as his game matures, it's very possible that he will become a number 10. Yeah.
No, look, that's definitely where I see him long term. And look, lads, 2 last questions for you. We'll go to Philip with this one. Look, with only 2 centre backs really being available, I am expecting to see 4 at the back, Philip. But would you play a 4-3-3 or would you play a 4-2-3-1 to see if we look any better? And is this the game to try it?
I'd try a 4-2-3-1 on this one. I'd play the 3 attacking players in behind Kane or Scarlett or whoever it is. Yeah, I would say I would play 4-2-3-1 in this one. I mean, anything, just don't play the formation that we played on Saturday.
No, that's for sure.
Whatever that was.
Do you think we would look better? Do you think we would look better in a 4-2-3-1, Philip?
I think so, yeah.
Like we played under Pochettino.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, listen, we had our most successful few years under Poch playing that system. So I think it's one the players are fairly comfortable with. They know it off by heart, and I think yeah, go for it. Now, okay, I wouldn't play it against Chelsea, but I would play it against Paco or Rennes.
No, definitely. Look, for me, I think it's one. Try the 4-2-3-1, see if it works, and then maybe you can look to implement that against Arsenal or even after that, or in the future. That's for sure. And Chris, same to you. 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3 on Thursday. What would you like to see?
I actually think the 4-2-3-1 will be suitable for a game against Rennes, because you'll have the two holding midfielders there and somebody just in front of them to create the creativeness. So probably Tanguy in that number one position, and then you've got the three attackers and Kane. I think that'll be the most suitable formation for Rennes. Against Chelsea, that'll be too much of a risk.
Yeah.
But I think for Rennes, I think the 4-2-3-1 is most suitable. And let's see how we get on with it.
100%.
You never know, because it might actually be a suitable formation for our actual team, and we might have to be able to fulfill that in Premiership games as well.
Yeah, good point. Very good point there, Chris. I fully agree. And look, just as well, before we get into the lads' score predictions, a big happy 19th birthday to Pape Matar. Of course, turns 19 today, so I hope he had a good birthday. So big up him. But look, it's that time of the evening, guys. So if you have enjoyed the show, guys, make sure you are smashing that like, because we will be ending off after this one. Make sure you're smashing that like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Grab your channel memberships, fan shows every Monday, after the game on a Sunday. Come on and have your say. And as well, if you've enjoyed the show, why not throw in a super chat or two to show your appreciation and help support this channel. But look, Chris, we'll start with you. What's your score predictions and who's your goal scorers?
I'm going to go for 3-1. 3-1. It'll be Kane 2 and Lucas.
Absolutely love it. You have faith in Lucas, to get after mark this season.
Lucas has got a habit of scoring in European games.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, look, hopefully he'll definitely be able to get one. Look, I'm loving the positivity and the scoreline, my man. Philip, what's your score prediction?
Yeah, just before I give that, I just read something tonight. It's a bit concerning about tomorrow night or Thursday night's match. That Spurs fans have an administrative order from the powers that be in Rennes have told Spurs fans not to come to the city.
Yeah.
I don't know how accurate that is, but that's a bit of a bummer. I would ban their fans from the return match if that's the way they want to play it.
Exactly.
Yeah, because there was a lot of problems with this. People that were traveling were having to ring, UEFA and stuff like that to try and get travel advice. And what I do believe is that, Tottenham were going to get in contact with the people traveling and tell them that there's certain areas in the city that you can't go to. I don't know why that is, but Philip, what you're after saying there must be the latest update on that situation.
Yeah, it's like an executive order, Like, I don't know how they can stop them going in, unless the police are just going to turf them out when they get there. But it's a bit worrying because Spurs fans in Europe, it's like bread and butter. You go, you watch your team playing, and you go to the expense of buying flights and hotels and whatever. Then you're told you can't go.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's hope it works out. As regards the match, 2-0 to Spurs.
Goal scorers?
Lucas and Hill.
Lucas and Hill, absolutely love it. Look, I'm gonna go 3-0 Tottenham. I'm gonna go Harry Kane with a brace. I'm gonna go Bryan Gil with one. But look, guys, everyone, let us know your score predictions. But look, there we have it, guys. Thank you so much to Philip, to Chris for giving up their time and coming on this evening. Greatly appreciate it. Great insight, great input, and a great panel, I have to say. Two of them worked perfectly together and really dug me out without Jack being here today. So I appreciate that, man. To everybody in the comments, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I keep telling you every single day, and I'm going to say it to you again every single day, is that these shows are absolutely nothing without you guys. Any YouTube channel is nothing without you guys. It's exactly, like TV programs. If you don't have the people tuning in, the shows don't happen or they don't keep continuing. So I want to say a massive thank you to you guys for the support that you keep showing behind me and this channel, and the guests behind that do come on this channel as well. I want to say a massive thank you for the chat being such a nice place to be in for everybody. There's a lot of people in there that make it a very welcome place for all newcomers as well. I want to say a massive thank you to everybody for the super chats and the support you keep throwing our way in that aspect. It's greatly appreciated. Me and Jack have a lot more content planned, a lot more we want to do, and it's definitely going back into the channel, so that is greatly appreciated. Look, get your comments in below as well when this video ends. I want to hear your thoughts about Thursday night, so get them in, and I will get in underneath, and I will engage with you that way as well. Anyone that is struggling out there, my emails, my social media, everything is below. So do make sure you get in contact. Never feel like you're alone or you have nobody to talk to. The Irish Hotspur, I'm always there for you. So my emails and my social media is open. I'm not one of these, I don't have it singled off or anything like that. So just drop me a message. And as well, look, for me, in Nuno we trust. And come on, you Spurs. Actually, what's coming up? Sorry, I forgot to tell people. What's coming up? Can Nicky answer me tomorrow at 9:30, guys? 10 o'clock. It's moved to 10 o'clock because, Jack, we're doing a watch-along on the Flat Cap Euro Talk for Liverpool versus AC Milan tomorrow for the Champions League on the Flat Cap Euro Talk on Jack's channel. But after that, then we'll be straight over here on Kaniki Answer Me at 10 p.m. So, guys, make sure you tune in for that here. Make sure, if anyone does want to watch, to watch along with me and Jack and that, make sure you do get over to the Flat Cap Euro Talk and follow us there beforehand. And we'll be doing a watch-along back here then as well Thursday for the Europa League conference game as well. And then I'll tell you what's coming up for the rest of the week from there. But we've got an action-packed week, that's for sure. But look, make sure you smash the like, subscribe. And as always, in Nuno we trust. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.